Hey, do you feel like you're just coming up against roadblock after challenge after barrier? There's getting in the way for you having the success you want, the confidence you want, the attraction you want to get with women. Write down the dates, the relationships that you want. Well, I'm going to talk about 7 things preventing your success with women today here on Core Confidence. Hey guys, Dave with Core Confidence. Today talking about the 7 things, yes 7, things preventing your success with women, attracting the women that you want. And this is something I thought a lot about. I took little notes, so I'm going to be looking down here. Make sure I hit all 7 points, because these are really important things that I have gone through and sometimes still fall back into, right? Imperfect human being like you. So happens to the best of us. So the first thing I want to talk about is relying too much on tactics. We could say strategies too, but really the tactics is where it gets. What to say, what's the right line to say, what do I say to this woman in this situation, in that situation, in that situation, and exactly those situations. Not that there aren't things in certain situations, but focusing, I need to get that, right? And then what's the next thing that I say? And then the next thing, and the fourth, and the fifth, and everything laid out step by step by step. It's really not the way to go. The way I prefer to look at it is look at skill sets, developing skill sets. That's the way to go, right? Skill sets like, there is a skill set to engaging women, right? To starting off the conversation, to connecting, to flirting with her, to bantering around, to challenging her, right? To getting the contact info or giving yours or exchanging contact info, to what do you do on text and how do you approach text as a skill set, not just what exact thing to say. Are there things to help? Yes, of course. But the over focus of it, what I've found when that's happened to me and guys that I've helped, then it creates a lot of fear. It creates a lot of, I'll only be ready when I get the right thing in place. I'll only be ready when I get the next right thing. And it's kind of a perfectionism as well that shows up. A lot with really smart guys, overthinking guys, analytical guys, systems-oriented guys, right? Tech guys, like I'm a former tech guy. And so really gets in the way. So number 1, want to avoid focusing too much on strategy and tactics. And also what you want to focus on, not only on the skill sets, but you want to focus on relaxing. Relaxing as much as possible around attractive, hot, beautiful women, whoever you find. Relax, right? If you want to meet women in bar environments, but don't feel comfortable in bars, you focus on relaxing. It's really, really key. It has to do with state. Okay, and state runs everything in a way, and it runs the vibe too, which I talk about a lot. Okay, so that's number 1. So number 2 is, this isn't often talked about, but it happens with guys that have lower self-esteem and lack self-worth, aka that used to be me. And it's pre-rejecting yourself instead of letting her decide if she likes you. This can happen with guys who already get attraction a lot. Women are already attracted to them, but they're self-sabotaging and thinking things like, well, she probably has a boyfriend, she probably doesn't like me. And one of the ways this can show up, if you've ever seen women kind of looking and talking to a friend like this, if you don't have good self-worth, self-esteem, what you'll think is, oh, what are they saying about me? They must be judging me. But women, when they do that, except for like a rare 1 to 3% of the time or something like that, where maybe something was off in your clothing, or like one time I was in college, I walked out of the bathroom and I made a toilet paper ring seat because I don't want my butt to touch the thing. And I walked out and this really cute girl looked at me and started laughing at me because I had a piece of toilet paper that got caught. And it was funny. I took it to heart though at the time because I was really, I was like, oh, I was embarrassed. But it was funny actually. Other than that rare case, she's checking you out, bro. She's checking you out, dude. And so that's an indicator of low self-worth. And then we'll do all these things to follow that are going to self-sabotage ourselves, pre-reject us. When she wants us to come talk to her, right? She's like, oh, that guy's cute. She's going to tell her friends. She's going to keep looking over. But instead of, because I used to struggle a lot with shyness, social anxiety, going, oh, she must think I'm weird. What's wrong with me? Is she looking at me? Is there somebody behind me? No, she's looking at me. She's looking at you, dude. So the thing, what's the solution is you got to work on your self-image, your self-esteem, your self-worth, and know that, and simply know, that when women do that, they're checking you out, okay? unless you're horrendously overweight and hideously ugly. And if you're here going, I'm that guy, I doubt you are. That's probably a self-image and self-esteem issue, right? And there's a lot that can be fixed on looks as well. That's number 2. Number 3 is being too uptight and being in your head. Okay, drinking my A&W soda here. Being too uptight and being in your head, overthinking things. It kind of ties to number 1. It kind of ties to number 2. Connection with women and all that doesn't happen through overthinking. It happens through action, right? It happens through vibe. It doesn't have to happen through a lot of conversation, actually. If you're a more conversational guy and go that route, cool. But it doesn't have to. It's, a lot of times it's on before we've even opened our mouths, when we're doing everything correctly, when we've got the right mindset, the right vibe, we got good solid body language, you're not moving around too quick like a squirrel. I call it squirreling. And we're relaxed in the environment. That comes across very well. And then overthinking things and, should I do this and what's going on here and this and that really gets in the way. So again, over-analyzation, as I like to call it sometimes, when talking to people about it and talking to guys and helping them, clients and stuff. And so relaxation is another key here. Relaxing. And actually one thing I would say is getting into your body. Okay, getting into your body. We have this experience when we're thinking too much that we live in our heads and we don't even realize. And then we relax and slow down and breathe. Feel your whole freaking body, right? And sometimes feel your nuts. Like feel that when you look at that woman, there's a sensation there. It's like, yeah. Instead of, well, how do I get her? And it's like, no, I just acknowledge that that's going on. Presence, right? Being present. It's really hugely powerful. It's been huge for me. So that's number 3. Number 4 is trying to get rather than just being or focusing on giving. So what do I mean by this? Trying to get her instead of sort of giving, I don't want to say of yourself, but giving an experience of you, and one that isn't trying to get. It's a hard thing to say, this one. I struggled with coming up for the wording on this, but it plays out to being actually relationships with people in general, right? Trying to get things socially. When I've helped people with social anxiety, when they are trying to get friends and get people to like them, it just doesn't go well, right? Get approval. Same thing with her. And realizing that by going, you're contributing value, not that you have to, but just by going and saying, hey, how's it going? And starting a conversation that you're not thinking about yourself in terms of trying to get her. If you want her, cool. But here's the thing, man, is like, there's so many women out there, and focusing on one particular woman that you don't really know that well, or she's so hot and this and that, A, makes you creepy and needy, and B, it just plain doesn't work. She can feel it. We start getting all uptight. We don't act the way that we would act around our friends. So it's not like, I mean, does anybody want you to act differently around you in some way that you intimidate them versus everybody else? No, nobody really wants that, right? Celebrities are a great example. Celebrities have to deal with that all the time. And so when we do that, we're sort of making this woman a celebrity when she's just a woman. She's just a human being. I've been guilty of it so many times, right? She's hot. So what's beyond that, right? That's number 4. Number 5 is not having good enough social skills, straight up. Not having the fundamentals of, my nose keeps itching, social skills down. Happens a lot. I talked to a guy the other day on the phone, and I asked him, do you want to have like better social circles? Because he had none. Now, if you have social circles and friends already, I'm not talking about you have to be some super social guy, but if you don't have good social skills going out and about, or even some, a friend or two that you can go out with and hang out with, I mean, how do you even know your social skills are good, right? I'm going to say they may not be. If you're really busy and don't have time, yeah, maybe you're social at work and have that. But having the basics down in conversation, because fundamentally that underpins every interaction with a woman. It's a social interaction. It's a social and sexual interaction. There's different things we've got to do and say versus a standard social interaction. But it's still social, okay? It's still interactive that way. So straight up not working on your social skills and being social enough and just talking to more people throughout the day is just one simple way to work on it. Number 6 is putting women as the number one focus. This is a big mistake, putting women as the number one focus. I definitely did it when I did my stint in the pickup world about 10 years ago or so. It makes you weird. It makes you obsessed. It makes you over-focused on it. And women aren't fundamentally attracted to a guy who only focuses on women and trying to get women. And they can feel it if you're trying to get. Now, a guy like that can still get women, but he's going to have to go through a lot more numbers. It's not going to be as easy or effortless and fit with his lifestyle as sort of being the guy who's attractive to women. That's why it's more important to focus on being the guy that's attractive to women, right, rather than trying to get the women, if you want it to be easier. I was talking to a buddy the other night who's kind of a natural with women. We were going out, and he showed me a picture of a woman he met who was basically married. She's real attractive, sounds real cool. I wasn't there when they met. And he's trying to kind of get with her. And I'm like, okay, I don't judge. You do what you want to do. I mean, I don't think it's a good idea. And the husband isn't around or something. And he's starting, dude, she's so beautiful. I'm like, oh. See, and this guy is pretty good with women. He's actually really quite good. But even he obsesses and tries to get her. And it's a mistake, man, because first of all, it's not going to feel good. You're going to suffer it. And you're putting too much attention on one particular woman, right? You can be totally obsessed with women, okay? And you can get women, but your quality of life is going to be shit overall. And I'm all about having it all, having the success with women and having a quality lifestyle and actually being happy and fulfilled along the way, right? And then you're not so worried about getting the outcome and getting the women and getting the sex and getting the dates and the numbers and yada, yada, yada. So what's the solution? Well, to have women, look, if women want to come in a close second because you really are into women and want to like date a lot of women or whatever, that's cool. But you got to have a primary mission, right? Man on a mission, you heard that. Man on a mission is a powerful thing, and it's also attractive to women, and they can feel it rather than you're like always searching for the next woman. It's like you're on your mission, and you have the skills and ability to interact with women when you want to bring them into your life. Enough said. And then number 7 biggest mistake is putting it out to someday to expand yourself, your skill sets, your life, working on this stuff, going out, meeting, talking to women, being social. If you want to do online, cool. If you want to do pickup, I don't give a crap. I don't teach pickup. I'm not a pickup guy. Whatever it takes to move forward. Instead, I'll do it someday, or watch another video and I'll do this and that, right? And so don't put it out to someday. Get into action now. Find a way to get into action now. And one of the ways to do that is I offer strategy sessions, limited amount each month, to help guys move forward and take action, get a plan together. So that's part of that as well. But in general, of course, just take more action. Don't put it out. Don't let the fear stop you. Use courage. Act now while working on being a more attractive guy and all the things you got to work on, because you got to have a lot of interactions in order to learn. You got to experiment. Experimentation is also a huge thing. That's a little bonus tip. Okay, so gone long enough in this video. I wanted to give you guys those 7 things, 7 reasons preventing you from having the success with the women that you want. And until next video, we're done. Have a good one.